Welcome to Two Dudes with Attitudes, a wrestling podcast with Ryan enjoys wrestling and MWO. And this is our WWE edition for the week of November 7th. I can't believe it's already November 7th or the week of. And we are talking all things Smackdown, Raw, NXT. Of course, we're going to have that segment. Ryan, are you ready? We're building up to War Games.
Yeah, finally, after what feels like forever, we're finally getting to War Games. And it's been a long road to get there, but things are starting to heat up in the WWE. It was a jam-packed week with a lot of title changes and lots of crazy stuff going on. So, yeah, I'm ready. Let's do this.
Let's do it. You ready? Hit that music. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Here we go.
Two dudes with attitudes. Let's go. It's the two dudes and our attitudes ruthless, aggressively speaking. So let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton. They here to get your attention. A 5-star broadcast. Start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E. The two dudes with the attitudes that bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'.
That video brings me back to the good old days. But yeah, War Games is coming. Survivor Series, baby. This is going to be the best War Games ever. We'll talk about it soon. What's the last what? That was the
last video, the last segment of our opening is from last year's Survivor Series with Sami Zayn and the rest of the bloodline reuniting, throwing the ones up because they were getting ready to team with CM Punk for some reason against Solo Sikoa and his bloodline and Bronson Reed for some reason. So, but yeah, those were the good times. That's and then Hangman Page burning down Swerve's house and Mariah May and Toni Storm. Yeah, those were some good times in WWE and AEW.
Who's Mariah May? But anyway.
Oh, sorry. She interviewed herself. We'll get into that.
Well, speaking of, let's get into it because we got a lot of things to cover. And let's start with the Smackdown, baby, because Smackdown was honestly kind of jam-packed. It was a little busy. A lot of things happened. And let's start with the opening. And that's one Cody Rhodes who came out to cut a promo. And he was interrupted by none other than Aleister Black and his sexy wife. And they came out and basically got in his face and challenged for a match later on. I think it took people off, a little bit shocked, a little bit surprised. But, you talk about what you think. But my bigger thing is, are you upset that this was a one-off for Aleister Black? Did you get excited and you were hoping, hey, Cody Rhodes, new opponent? Obviously, we learned later on, which we'll discuss, that was not to be, and it looks like he's moving back to Damian Priest. But what say you? What do you think about the promo, the match itself, and Aleister Black getting a little bit of a rub?
Yeah, I wasn't surprised by any. I was surprised, but I did like it. I'm not surprised to see Aleister Black getting a rub in WWE. I think he's always been better in WWE. I was just surprised that it happened this soon. I was a little confused at first because I thought he was getting a title shot, but then the commentators kept saying if he wins this match, he could earn a title shot again against him in the future. So it was one of those, like, it was just kind of peculiar. Like they made it seem like he was going after the champion, but he was just wrestling the champion. But I thought it was I thought he looked great. I thought the promo was good. I thought, the ending and everything of the match was good. I feel like I looked this up the other day. Damian Priest and Aleister Black have been feuding since July. So here we are in November. Like, we got to wrap this up. Like, I thought they were done after the last man standing match a couple weeks ago on SmackDown, but then that continued, and now they're still feuding with each other, and they cost each other their respective matches. Or Aleister Black, they're ruining everything for each other. These guys are constantly ruining each other's lives and going after, but we got to wrap this feud up. I think it's been a great feud for both of them, but it's going on a little too long for my liking.
And it's got to be Black who finishes it up. I'm sorry. Yes. I love Damian Priest, former world champion, but he can't win this feud. It's got to be Aleister Black, especially now that he's with Selena Vega in a character role as well, who showing off those boobies. But yeah, she's doing her thing. I also want to say I'm over this whole, Aleister Black is carrying Cross. Do people not remember him in the House of Black? I mean, that was basically him and Julia Hart, same exact thing. I don't know how this is like this is just who he's been. So let's stop at the whole stupid, like one was a dark character, another, and since he's gone,
I think
they're
it's
the same person.
I think it's more because he's with Scarlett and or he's with Zelina Vega while Karrion Kross was with Scarlett. I think that's where people are doing that comparison because he didn't team up with her until after Karrion Kross left and everything. So I think that's where people are getting that from. I don't like it either. I think it's dumb.
Maybe, but before that was Seth Rollins and Beck. I think they're just starting to pair all the couples up. I think it makes sense. You know what I mean? I think if Zack Ryder comes back to WWE, he'll get paired up with Chelsea Green. I just think that's what they're doing now. Why not? They work together. They live together. They got to follow each other. Might as well just everyone knows. Like I said, kayfabe is dead, bro. You need to, obviously, it's okay to do that. But with that said, after this match, Drew McIntyre comes out and literally claymores everybody. And as he's walking out, Nick Aldis, correct, on SmackDown, decided to suspend him. You are suspended. So Drew McIntyre has been suspended. Talk about that. What'd you think of it? And obviously this means that it's him versus Cody part 7, correct? Is that what I mean?
Yeah, we're getting back into that. Just when they thought we were done with that, they pull us right back in. But yeah, like I'll give him credit for the ending because I thought for sure that Nick Aldis was going to come out and pull the old Teddy Long where you guys want to fight so bad. Well, we're gonna give you a fight, and it's going tonight. It's going to be a tag team match, so it's going to go from a singles match with Aleister Black and Cody Rhodes to a tag team match with Drew McIntyre and Aleister Black against Cody Rhodes and Damian Priest. But I'm glad they didn't go that route. I'm glad they went of Drew McIntyre being suspended. I am curious what this means. There's conflicting reports out there that one of them or that he's leaving to film a movie, but then somebody else was like, no, he's not filming a movie. It's all part of the story. So I don't think anybody really knows, but I am curious to see what this means. Does he get into War Games somehow? Does he move over to Monday Night Raw? Does he put on a mask? Does he go by the name DM Hunk in WWE now instead of Drew McIntyre? What is he going to do? Like, I am curious to see what they're doing and what their end game with this is. But I'm intrigued. Because Drew McIntyre has been getting hosed by management. So I'm curious to see what they do with it.
Well, I think 100%. Well, we'll talk about the War Games thing later on in Monday Night Raw, so we can see if we think he's adding it or not. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, if he gets another title shot, I know I said this the last 3 times, but he has to win. There's literally no way he can lose. So it makes me think maybe there won't be. Maybe this all is just a War Games type of feeling, a vibe, and they won't have him fight for a title again, because if they don't want Cody to lose the belt, don't put him in a ring with Drew. It makes zero flipping sense. The end. It just doesn't. You're ruining this guy's career. So that's just my 2 cents. He's got to move on, but we'll see what happens. With that said, we had the new SmackDown Women's Champion come out, Mr. Ryan, and she cut a promo, and it lasted about as long as I do in bed. She said a few things, and basically she just stated that she is that bitch, dropped the mic and walked out, and I got chills. They were multiplying, and I've seen so many people since. Yeah. I think I'm losing control. So I was actually, but it's been about a week now. We're Thursday, so it's been about a week since SmackDown was on, and so much people were giving this shit. I had somebody tell me that she fumbled her words. I'm like, she said 5 words. What do you mean she fumbled? She looked like a beast, and I put on there that this is how you book her, right? She can't be a babyface because she's not a 5-star wrestler and she's not good on the mic. You make her a heel. She doesn't have to be a 5-star wrestler. She could be Goldberg. She comes in, beats her ass, and leaves. Every match could be 8 minutes because she is that bitch. She looks like it. She got the height, the muscles, the vibe, and she's good enough to do power moves. And then on the promos, she's good enough just to say a few words. She doesn't have to talk. She'd come out and say what she means to say and boom, bing, and leave. So this is like perfect. And I had so many people in it that said, oh yeah, Goldberg, because he was good, and oh, this and that. There's one thing I can't stand about new fans. All they do is listen to the internet. They don't watch. They weren't there. I was there when Goldberg was. Goldberg was it. I think Goldberg might be one of the most popular wrestlers of all time when he was in it. I don't think people know because they weren't there. And they go back now and go, like Ultimate Warrior. Oh, worst wrestler ever. Okay, you weren't there. Ultimate Warrior was the biggest thing. There's a reason why he beat Hulk Hogan. There's a reason why Goldberg beat Hulk Hogan. These people were the big, like people thought Goldberg was bigger than Stone Cold for like a year and a half. That's a huge deal, but people don't see it anymore because, you know, he's a shitty wrestler. He's not Kenny Omega.
They don't like him now.
But yeah, they don't like him now. So they forget the past because that's what we do now. We don't think for ourselves. We listen to whatever Santi and other people say, right? So go back and
look at John Cena.
Oh, everyone.
I said, look at John Cena. Like everyone hated it. Now everyone's like, oh, he deserves to be Grand Slam champion. He deserves to take the title off the young guy. That, I mean, that was on brand for him throughout his entire career. Now he's taking titles off of young people. He's not putting anybody. Yeah, people hated John Cena.
Yeah, well, we'll get into the John Cena thing too again. But with that said, Jade Cargill, I love the promo. Sorry I went on a rant, but I'm just saying this is how she needs to be booked. And this got me excited. I'm like, bro, her and Bianca, her and freaking just her and anyone.
Naomi,
honestly. Yeah. Well, I was gonna say Naomi, but is she gonna be back in time? I don't know how it's gonna work. And it's Naomi still gonna be a heel, but when she comes back, maybe she will be a baby face in the same type of character. But her against anyone at SmackDown right now is just printing money, honestly, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, this is how you need to book Jade Cargill moving forward. Just have her she just needs to be a woman of few words. Go out there, look dominant, beat everybody down. Let her bring her AEW character into the WWE, where she was on this undefeated streak in AEW to the point where it became it should have became a bigger story in AEW than it was. But the story should become who's going to be the one to stop Jade Cargill, who's going to be the one to take the title back from Jade Cargill, who's going to be the one to dethrone Jade Cargill. That should be the story, and she should just run through everybody that steps in her way until she gets to somebody like a Bianca Belair, and then let that feud just let it do its thing. Let it, because I think that has potential to be a really strong pairing for WrestleMania 42. Something that I'd be down to see. And imagine her versus Rhea Ripley if they do like a roster switch. I mean, the brand split's meaningless now, but her versus Rhea, her versus Becky Lynch, her versus Tiffany Stratton, or her versus Raquel Rodriguez, her versus, like, there's so many people that she could go through. Liv Morgan, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair. There's so many women that she could run through in WWE, and I'm super pumped for it. Get Bayley, Io Sky. I mean, the list is endless of talent that she could go through, and I think it would be huge for her. So book her in a dominant fashion, and let's just watch and see what they do.
Yeah, I mean, she could even go up against someone who we're about to talk about now, and that's one Julia, who just lost her U.S. Women's Championship to one Chelsea Green, which I think was a shocker. And obviously, we are learning it's the beginning of the Triple H Attitude Era shake-up booking, where you're going to win a title, lose a title, win a title, lose a title. But I'm super stoked, man. We got Chelsea Green and Ethan Page as double champs. Chelsea Green looks amazing, beautiful, doing her damn thing, looking awesome. Just the whole Canadian gimmick is giving me that Bret Hart Foundation vibes. I love it. But I was so happy to see her win. I know people were like, well, Julia had an awful run. She did. So why keep it going? They did nothing with her. They didn't have a good idea for her. This is what I've been saying about Carmelo Hayes when everyone's been bitching about Carmelo Hayes. And I said, don't want to rush somebody. Look at a Grayson Waller. If you don't have an idea for a wrestler, you just throw them out there, they get lost. And that's what happened with Julia. They booked her too quick, had no idea how to book her, didn't know what to do. And now Chelsea Green's the champ. You know what I mean? And last time Chelsea Green was a champ, they had no idea what to do with her. It happened. So Julia will be okay. Carmelo Hayes is going to be just fine. Chelsea Green, though, bro, how excited are you about this and all the loveliness that can come from it?
Yeah, no, I was pumped about this one. I think she brings an energy, she brings a character, she brings just life to not just to SmackDown, but to NXT as well, with her stuff with Ethan Page and the AAA Mixed Tag Team Championships that she has. So now she's a double champion. So there's a lot of good stuff with Chelsea Green. I think there's a lot of potential there. But there's a reason they gave her the U.S. title the first time around when she was the first women's U.S. champion, because they obviously had a lot of high hopes for her. And now they've quickly taken it off of Julia in I think it was a minute and a half, which was a crazy way to lose the title. But the right person won. Chelsea Green, like I said, she brings an energy, she brings character, she brings some excitement and some joy to that mid-card division, which I think it was really lacking when Julia was champion. And I think Chelsea Green can add an extra layer. You know, she's a great babyface. She could be a great heel. She has that character. And I think this run's going to be way better than her first run as United States champion, because I think they're going to do different things. She's got her partner in Alba Fire with the Secret Hervis. She's got Ethan Page. She's got, you know, people in NXT going after her. She's got women on SmackDown that we're going to want to go after her. So I think, again, you know, Piper Niven could be coming back, and maybe she goes babyface and goes after Chelsea. I mean, there's a lot of different areas that she can go, and so I'm super pumped for Chelsea. I think if there's anybody in the WWE that deserves more than what she's getting, it's Chelsea Green. I think Chelsea Green should be in the women's title picture. I think she should be feuding with Jade Cargill. I think she should be feuding with Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. I think she'd be in that main event scene, but she is fantastic in the mid card, and I'm super pumped for her. I can't wait to see what they do with her in this second run.
Yeah, I agree. Well, the second run's going to be great because the whole gimmick that she has right now is outstanding. So she's going to be all right. Her and Ethan Page, it's going to be fun. All right, you ready to get into Monday Night Raw?
Yeah, I think so. I got a lot to say.
Oh, well, you know what? I'll let you start then. Go ahead. Start off with the opening, which was John Cena, Triple H, and Dominic Mysterio. Ryan, take the wheel, my man. I'll follow.
All right, so we open the show with Triple H. First of all, like, why? Why does Triple H have to open the show? And I was like, if this MFer asks us if we are ready, I'm gonna lose my shit. Luckily, he didn't do that, but he comes out and he puts over John Cena, which fine, good for him. But he's touting John Cena as the uncategorical, unequivocal greatest of all time. Nobody can touch him. He's done it all. He's seen it all. He's been there. He's worked and he's fought through hustle, loyalty, and respect. He's gone through all the odds. So he did a good job of putting John Cena over. I don't know why he was there, but he did what he had to do. So then John Cena comes out. He introduces him, brings him out, and John Cena's cutting his promo. He's said something about to me, this didn't land with me until afterwards when I read it online, but he made this announcement about Saturday night's main event, and he was talking about how the best of wrestlers of NXT will be going up against wrestlers on the main roster. And then he was like, yeah, and then that'll also be my final match. And it was just like a really, I don't know, it was like it didn't register with me but what he was saying was we're going to get wrestlers from NXT versus the main roster in a series of exhibition matches in the final. I was like, that didn't land, that didn't register with me at all. I was just like, huh? Like, we're going to see what the best NXT has to offer. It was a weird thing. But anyway, the highlight of the segment was when Dominic Mysterio came out and interrupted John Cena. And I was worried at first because John Cena, anytime he says that line, like fine speech, and Dominic, he wasn't, the best part about it was Dominic came out and he wasn't there to talk to Cena. He wanted to talk to Triple H about, what are you going to do about my dad? What are you going to do about, all the things that are going up? I should be winning matches. Like, he was just criticizing Triple H for everything. He's like, what are you going to do about it? And then he gets in, then he talks about how he would beat John Cena down, and he's done it. He'll deal with John Cena later, and he doesn't. It was just a good spot for Dominic. But then when John Cena said, "Oh, fine speech there, Dom," or whatever it is that he always says, I was really worried that he was going to go into one of his promos where he belittles the person, he tears them down. He, the Austin Theory, the Roman Reigns, the Solo Sikoas, the Jimmy Usos that have all felt the wrath of John Cena's verbal assault. But Dominic Mysterio held his own. Dominic Mysterio held his, usually Dom gets kind of lost. I don't want to say lost, but usually the crowd is booing him so much that he can't get a word in. But he stood toe to toe with Cena.
They were booing
him
too.
I'll take you down. I'll take you down right now. And, I think I was really, really pleased to see Dominic Mysterio that. To me, that was one of the best promos I've heard from him, because usually he can't get a word in edgewise, and he got a word in edgewise against John Cena. John Cena didn't he stood toe to toe. John Cena didn't do one of his verbal tongue lashings, or he tried to, and he couldn't, because Dom didn't look intimidated. Like Roman, when he did it to Roman looked intimidated. Roman looked lost. Austin Theory looked like he wanted to cry. Solo and Jimmy looked like, dude, like what the hell are you doing? But like Dominic was like, try it, I dare. And like, I don't know, that's what I took from it. So I really like that. But then Triple H puts the Intercontinental Championship on the line, and it puts Dominic and John Cena in a match with the IC title on the line right then and there. Get him a damn referee. Let's make this match happen. And Dominic and John Cena wins the Intercontinental Championship. And I didn't think he needed to win it. I know a lot. I know I'm definitely in the minority on this. He's now officially a Grand Slam champion. He is the new IC champion. He's won every single title in WWE's history. But I just thought this was unnecessary. You took a title off a young guy, up-and-comer, rising star, main eventer. Dominic Mysterio could have benefited from this because he could have been the one to prevent the guy that Triple H just put over as the GOAT. You prevent the GOAT from becoming a Grand Slam champion. You stop him from clearing that one hurdle that's eluded him his entire career. I thought it would have been perfect for him. But no, they went this route. There was like, what was the point of that segment last week with Rey Mysterio? Where was the Judgment Day? Like, what are we doing with Dominic Mysterio now? Like, is this a transitional reign? Like, I don't mind it. I'm not mad that John Cena is the Intercontinental Champion. I just really hope that they don't do that. This isn't like we're going to put it on John Cena, and then at Survivor Series, John Cena is going to wrestle Sheamus for the IC title. I'm seeing a lot of that. I'm seeing a lot of John Cena is going to wrestle Gunther for the IC title, or John Cena is going to hang on to the IC title until the championship of the tournament, and then he's going to win it, and then he's going to retire. But where does that put Dom? Now, that's what I want to know. It's like, where does Dom go? I think Dom should either win it back, or Dominic should be John Cena's final opponent. But if all of this is to push Gunther or to push Sheamus or to push somebody else, then I don't like this decision. So I'm going to hold off any further judgment on that. But I don't mind that he won. I just didn't like how he won. He completely no-sold Dominic's finisher too, which really irritated me. Like Dominic hit the 619 and then he hit a frog splash. And John, like before the ref could even count, John Cena's lifting him up, standing up and doing an attitude adjustment, and then he pins him like that. And I just thought that was a weak way to win, but it's on brand for John Cena in his entire career.
Yeah. Well, let's start at the beginning, right? Triple H, literally no point. He said absolutely nothing. This wasn't a historical event. It was John Cena's last time in Boston. Whoop-de-doo, Basil. Like, whoop-de-doo. This meant nothing. I don't know why he was there. And I'm sick of Triple H. And I'm a Triple H fan. I'm sick of him. I support him all. I'm just like, stay off my freaking screen, dude. You don't need to be on there. You look stupid. Stop. No one cares about you. You're on the posters. You're on the news. Bro, he's a former wrestler. Bro, I don't care. Yeah. I don't care. He's behind the scenes now. Is Shawn Michaels on all the NXTs? Does he constantly open up all the NXTs? Does anybody who's in professional wrestling do what Triple H does? No.
He puts his name in the credits.
Yes. Nonstop.
Like, he didn't have credits before. Yeah.
He's on the NXT credits. What the hell does he do for NXT? Stay off my screen. Stay off it. Secondly, John Cena's speech was weak. Dominic coming out and interrupting was fun. I guess you're going to say, well, they had John Cena there so they can get the Dominic match made. That could have happened either way. We didn't need Triple H to do it. And Dominic got the better of John Cena. I don't know if John Cena let him or not, but Dominic delivered a good promo. He didn't look afraid. He punked his ass, got the match. The only thing with the match is I said John Cena should have never been a 17-time champion. I said he should have won the Intercontinental Championship, and that should have been his entire run, was defending it until he loses at the end. That would have been the perfect way. But we already know, as soon as Triple H and John Cena were talking backstage on that show, and they said, this last run, no way it could be fumbled. I knew it was going to be fumbled, and it's been fumbled ever since, and it's still being fumbled. But with that said, people need to stop copying each other on the internet, like I said. Someone said Sheamus. Now everybody says Sheamus. Someone said Gunther. Now everyone's saying Gunther. Just let it cook. Let's see what happens. I think it should be Dominic, But what I think is going to happen is that I think Dominic will get revenge at Survivor Series, probably. I think it should be Dom, but I think Dom will get that IC championship back. I don't think they're going to have John Cena lose his last match. I just don't. I know a lot of people say he's going to. I don't think so. I don't see, I mean, Sheamus, I get somebody thought it was cute because he finally won it, so Sheamus is going to finally win it.
Grand Slam.
That makes, what does Sheamus retiring John Cena have to do? I can see Gunther, because Gunther is still considered a young up-and-comer. He's still considered the future in a sense. So if you want to give it to Gunther, that's fine. It's not going to be Carmelo Hayes, people. Get it out of your minds. It's not going to be Oba Femi, people. Get it out of your minds. I could see it being R-Truth or The Miz before I could see it being any of them. But, I mean, all likelihood, it might be Gunther. But nonetheless, if it's not, it needs to be Dominic. Dominic needs to go. But if it is Dominic, then Dominic needs to beat him. But I think it's going to be an eye for an eye. Survivor Series War Games is in San Diego. I think it's going to be Dirty Dom who does it there. And takes that belt back. I don't mind John Cena winning it. I just don't like that he won it at Raw. I thought it was weird. I get it's his hometown, and that was a cool moment, but just seemed a little weird. And I think the biggest part about it, too, is that nothing with Judgment Day. We keep building feuds up, and Triple H keeps teasing stuff, and then we don't get the tease. And that's what's driving. And I said that before, right? I'm like, I'm fine with no outside interference. I'm fine that all matches are clean now, but then don't tease it. Why are you teasing it and then like nobody comes out? You didn't even have Finn come out and then go like, never mind. Like nothing.
Yeah.
You had nothing at all. Like no, whatever.
And what was the like? Not even the Judgment Day, but just last week you had a segment with Ray and Dom in the ring. What was the point of that if you're not going to do Ray versus Dom at Survivor Series? If the two guys in San Diego, is that what was the point of that whole feud? Like that. Like, I don't understand. Like, why are you teasing us with another Ray Dom match? And then Ray factors nothing into the decision this week, doesn't do anything to help his friend John. Like, it was all strange, very strange. And then, no Judgment Day either. That was confusing to me. And even though Dominic apparently did cut a promo, but you have to go, like, dig through and find it somewhere on, like, WWE.com where he was, like, yelling about where's the Judgment Day? Where's me Familia and all this stuff? But, like, I shouldn't have to, like, give us that on Raw. Don't make me go to WWE.com. Don't make me go to social media. Don't make me go to YouTube. Like, give me that on Raw so we can have it, as opposed to making me have to go out and find it.
I agree. And with that said, the only way this actually ends up being a positive thing is if Dom gets the win back and if Dom has Liv Morgan return to help him. That's the only way. Other than that, then this was really just a dumb way of doing it. They could have done it 100 different other ways. Also, go ahead.
I was just going to say the other thing that bugged me about it too was it didn't feel like John Cena winning the IC title was a huge deal. Like it was like the commentating team with Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett. I think they did a great job of being like, he's a Grand Slam champion. This is the title he's never won. But like Triple H was already like, hey, you're the GOAT. John Cena's the GOAT. Hey guys, John Cena's the GOAT. John Cena's the greatest of all time. You know, Triple H could have been a little bit more biased or a little bit more I guess neutral and been like, hey, you know, there's a lot of people that think he is the GOAT, but there's one thing that's missing. And you know, John, you've never held this, and this is probably the one thing that is keeping you from becoming the GOAT. And if you do this, then you definitely solidify your name as the GOAT. So I'm going to make this match for the IC title. But it was just like, this feels like a great place. This feels like a great time. But give me a referee and the IC title's on the line. Like it was just, it didn't feel like him winning the IC title was a huge deal. It felt like John Cena's never wanted the IC title throughout his entire career.
That's why he never won it.
Yeah, exactly. And then now, like, he didn't even act like he wanted it in this. He just wanted a match with Dom, and Triple H was like, let's put this on the line. It was just very strange. Very strange.
Are you sure? Because he had a whole backstage thing where everybody cheered for him and shook his hands. And even Cody came in and said, champ. And even Rey Mysterio said, I'm so glad you beat the shit out of my son. And even John Cena is such a good person, so much of a better human than Dominic's dead-ass beat father, that even John said, he's a good kid, Ray. Even he had to tell him, like, your boy's good, Ray. Like, that's how much Rey Mysterio is a piece of shit. But
yeah, it was after the fact they made it feel like a big, but like before. The build up to it was like, oh yeah, the IC title's on, and they were like, oh, he's never won this before. Give me a graphic, put this on the screen. Let's do a celebration. Everyone get together.
But they didn't need to do the backstage thing. John Cena, he's won. Like, why? Like, what are we doing here? He's like, yay, John, you did it. You beat Don. Like, let's stop.
And
Yeah.
Like I made a TikTok or anything about this, and the best part was the comments, and people were like, "He said he was in like," because I was complaining about him not selling the finisher with Dom, like the 619 and the frog splash, and one person was like, "He said he was in Boston, and that makes him invincible," and I was like, "Yeah, like that doesn't mean it was good. Like that's Michael Scott declared bankruptcy by yelling, 'I declare bankruptcy' on The Office." That doesn't mean he was actually bankrupt. You know what I mean? Like,
wait, he wasn't?
they were like, no, that's not how it works. Like, just because he says he's lost a lot of matches in Boston, so he's not really invincible when he's there. But
no, he's not.
Here nor there.
And that's whoever wrote that is stupid. But let's get into something that I thought was a little weird. And we had another heel turn on Monday Night Raw. A couple of weeks ago, we had the Jade Cargill heel turn, and what she did was that she waited to save her partner, beat everybody up who's trying to attack her, only to turn on her. So what did Nikki Bella do? She said, "Hold my beer." And after Julia defended her match and got beat up, Nikki Bella came in and made the save and then hit Stephanie Vaquer with the belt afterwards and turned on Stephanie Vaquer. I don't know what's going on with Triple H and booking and why he's doing the whole Dominic Mysterio booking angles where you wait for the match, wait for the person to win, then save the person from getting to beat up, only to then beat them up. I don't know why you just wouldn't let them and then lift them up and then do it. Like, why are you stopping people from beating them up when you know you're about to beat them up? Really weird. But I think the weirdest part about Nikki Bella turning on Stephanie Vaquer is the fact that people cheered. And we are in such a weird era now that even someone as over as Stephanie Vaquer, people are going to cheer and say one more time. They love heel turns. They don't give two. Nikki Bella's going to get either ignored or booed or what chanted her entire promo on Raw next week. And everyone's going to act like they don't give two shits about her and chant, "You're Cena's whore," or whatever else, and not care
That's
about
what they
her.
were chanting on Raw.
Yeah. But God damn it, if she hits you with a belt and turns on you, you're going to get a standing ovation. So bizarre, but 6-7. What are we doing here? Why are we turning people like what? Okay, is Nikki Bella and Stephanie Vaquer? What's going on here? What are we getting here?
Yeah, I've been wanting to talk about this too because I don't understand like why they did this. This felt very rushed, and I don't get it. Like because Triple H, man, like the Judgment Day has been like teasing a breakup for 42 years now, and then
I was gonna say since Edge, yeah,
they've been teasing a breakup since Titanic. It's been 85 years, like that's, and then A-Town Down Under was teasing a breakup their entire run until Austin Theory got hurt. The New Day, we were so tired of the Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods bickering every single week, and we were like, can we please just get this story to the next chapter? And then they finally turned on Big E. Like so, but Stephanie Vaquer and Nikki Bella have been friends for 2 weeks, but we got to turn her. We got to turn her this week. It's got to be this week. Like, why are we rushing this? But all these other stories, we dragged them out for so long for almost the exact same thing. Dominic Mysterio turning on Rey, that took a long time. Dom turning on Rhea took a while. The Liv Morgan kiss on Dominic Mysterio and cheating on, like, that took a while. But Nikki Bella, we got to turn her now. We got 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks since she befriended Stephanie Vaquer, and we got to turn her. So I don't understand why they rushed it.
Or I don't know why they did it. Like, what are we? Is Nikki? That's what we're getting next. Nikki losing to Stephanie Vaquer. What does that do for Steph? Or is Nikki going to win? I mean, if it's anything Triple H is booking, 6-7, he's going to obviously probably have the title change hands. That's what he does now, right?
It makes me wonder. It makes me wonder if he turned her because they were in Boston and he thought the fans would boo her because that's John Cena's ex-fiance. And so they were like, "Oh, this will get good heat. Let's turn her now." But really, it was just it backfired. I mean, they were chanting stuff about Cena to her, but which was fans didn't need to do that to her because she's moved on from him. but
isn't he married?
Yeah, he is, and she just got out of a relationship.
An abusive relationship.
Yeah, so like, but still chanting like things about John Cena, like that's come on, Bush League. But yeah, but like, did they do that because they thought she would get heat being in Boston, turning heel, and John Cena? Yeah. Maybe that's why they did it. I don't know, but I don't get why they did it at all. I didn't think it was necessary.
Well, we'll see what happens on Monday Night Raw to see how they follow it up. But let's continue to talk about unnecessary. And that's the men's war game match. It was announced. And so far, we got one CM Punk, one Jey Uso, one Cody Rhodes. So we have two of the only two World Heavyweight Champions in a match together versus the Vision, meaning Braun Bronze and Logan Paul. No, Logan Paul did not join the Vision. He just joined them for War Games. What say you, man? Like, are you excited by this? But I think my main thing, because maybe in the segment we could talk a little bit more about it, War Games in general, but this match itself, we're supposed to have 5, right? I know some have 4. I don't think this is going to go 4-on-4. It doesn't make sense. So who are the next 2 people in each group? And what did you even think about this? Like, what's going on with Jey Uso? Is he 6'7"? Is he a heel? Are they getting Jimmy? And is Jimmy gonna do like the Sami Zayn and turn? Like, what are we?
Where is Jimmy? We haven't Jimmy Uso has just completely disappeared since.
Literally.
He's been.
Did Naomi have her baby?
Maybe
not yet. Has it been 9 months?
No, I don't think it has. No, it has been that. No, but yeah, I don't know where he is. They've been teasing that they were teasing that, and they're dragging. Now they've just completely dropped it. Jacob Fatu got attacked. Oh yeah, let's just forget about that. But let's turn Nikki Bella heel this week because we have to do that. I'm still on that, by the way. But
wait, who attacked Jacob Fatu?
Yeah, they dropped that story.
He did it for The Rock. I'm telling you, you're gonna just wait. I did it for Jey Uso. Well, no, now he does it for Jey Uso because he gets mad whenever Jey Uso is booked poorly.
Yeah. Like he doesn't do shit for Solo. He's not doing it for Jimmy. Only Jay. It makes no sense. But yes, but
who do you got? 2 guys. Who do you got? Yeah.
So number 1, I'm not excited about this match. Number 2, I think it's not, I know you're worried about Jey Uso. I want to know why the hell Cody Rhodes is in this match. Like, what the hell does he have to do with this story? He had the feud with Seth Rollins going into Crown Jewel. That's really been his only interaction with the Vision. He had one segment with Mr. Heyman and Braun Breaker where he was like, if he doesn't stop looking at me, I'm gonna beat his ass. But that's really it. Like they haven't done he hasn't done anything with them, but he's gonna be on. He even cut a promo a few weeks ago, said he's only going to focus on SmackDown moving. He's not helping anybody. And here he is helping people. He's not sticking his nose on Raw. But here he is helping Jey Uso and CM Punk against the team that he has no business being in. We have 2 world champions on the same team. They can't lose. They can't lose at War Games. You have both of your champions are on the same team. They can't lose. But I think the other 2 people, I think obviously Roman Reigns is going to be on this. They're just going to stack the baby faces.
Oh, you think so? Okay.
I feel like he has to be, right? Because
he said don't call me till Christmas, so I don't know.
That's
now all
true.
of a sudden he's going to team with them. Oh.
Yeah, that's true. He did say don't call me till Christmas. I don't want to see you guys till Christmas. But he did lose to Bronson Reed. He's had his run-ins with Braun Breaker. I feel like he has to be in this match. And then I think the other person, and we were just talking about him. I think it's going to be John Cena. I think John Cena. We're going to have all 3 champions on one team. But the reason why I think John Cena is going to be in it is because on the heel side, I think we're going to add Drew McIntyre to the mix somehow, some way, because I think that's why Cody's in the match. He has history. He hates Roman Reigns. He hates Jey Uso. We all know how he feels about CM Punk. And, he's in a feud right now with Cody Rhodes. So I think it kind of makes sense to add Drew McIntyre. And then Brock Lesnar obviously is going to join the Vision. And, Brock has just squashed John Cena at WrestlePalooza. And I think at War Games, John Cena is going to pin Brock Lesnar and win it for the babyface team. And that's how he gets his comeuppance on Brock. He finally he gets that monkey off his back. And then we spend the rest of the time focusing on the tournament, the finals, John Cena's last opponent and all that. And it's not going to be Brock. I don't think Brock enters the tournament. I don't think Brock takes Gunther out at the Saturday night, walking into the ring on Saturday night's main event. So he can get one last match in on John Cena. I don't think they're doing any of that. I think that's how John Cena finishes that story against Brock Lesnar. So John Cena and Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar and Drew McIntyre are at it. That's my prediction.
I had a whole different route, but my route would make the good guys be really, really outmatched. I think it is going to be Drew for sure. I think it'll be Brock for sure. So then when you think about it, you got the Bronze, Logan Paul, who I guess is the weak link. He can take the pin, I guess. Then you got Brock and Drew. That's a pretty stacked team. So then you got Punk and Cody, Jey Uso. I think it's 100% going to be LA Knight. I think that's the route they're going to go. I don't think it's going to be one. I think it'll be LA Knight. So I'll give you, I thought it was going to be LA Knight and Jimmy Uso. And I thought that's when Jimmy turns and costs Jay. Jay takes the pin from Logan or someone. And that's how you win War Games or Brock Lesnar for fun. But I could see it being Roman instead. I don't see John Cena. I see John Cena in a singles match. I see John Cena. Why would he want to be in War
I want
Games?
him to be in
That's a long match.
Because he's never done it,
man. Oh God. But I see LA Knight for sure because he's already in there. He's already feuding with the Vision. He's already kind of pairing up with the Jay thing and all that.
He's being punished though. He's got his promo time.
Supposedly, yeah. Supposedly,
he held a fan sign up and he hasn't been seen since.
God, that's I see LA Knight, but I can see Roman instead of Jimmy. Yeah, but I think it's going to be Jimmy. But the thing is, if it's LA Knight and Jimmy, is that strong enough to look like they compete against the men? Like, who counters Brock Lesnar and that and so on? But yeah,
my thing is why are we waiting until 2 weeks before the show to unveil Jimmy Uso and LA Knight as the babyface? Like, that's the only thing.
But what about Brock Lesnar? I mean, he hasn't been anywhere. All of a sudden, he's just in the match, like.
But he's a big. But him being there is a bigger deal than like Jimmy. We've seen Jimmy Uso. We've seen LA Knight. So like, why didn't either one of them come and help Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso as well this week? Like, why are we waiting to surprise them? But I know you got to add intrigue somehow. That's why I think it's Roman Reigns. Yeah,
well, it could be. I'll give you Roman over Jimmy, but I don't think John Cena. I think it's going to be LA Knight. I think that's the only other one that makes sense. But we'll see. Who knows? It could end up being Seth Rollins for all I know. All right, and then let's end it. Main event. We like I said, these titles, man, flippity-doo-dah. So we had the Kabuki Warriors defeat Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss in a match I didn't even know was for the title. When they pinned them, I was like, oh, okay, cool. They're up next. And like, no, I was like, you just had Flair and Bliss. So you just put two of the biggest superstars of all time together in a tag team. They look like they were going to save the division. Supposedly Flair had a minor injury, so they didn't wrestle for 2.5 months. Then they come back, have a match, and start cooking to only have him lose instantly. What was the freaking and to set up War Games? So basically, Rhea Ripley came out, declared War Games. So it's Rhea, Io, Flair, and Bliss versus the Kabuki Warriors and who are the other
Nia Jackson, Lashley.
Lashley. I think it's just going to be 4-on-4, right? The women's usually is 4-on-4, right?
I don't know.
They have to do 5. I think it goes back and forth with the women. So I can see it.
I think last year they did 5-on-5. I think the year before
they did 4-on-4. They did 4-on-4, right? With like Candice LeRae and stuff. So I think it'll be 4-on-4. Man, talk about underwhelming, right? Where the hell? Like, the women's War Game matches have always been thrown together because they don't have stories. So when the women don't have stories, don't tell me this is a feud. Like, Bayley being in it would have made more sense with Lyra Valkyria than what they're doing here. I don't know. Even Flair and Bliss, like, because they just lost the Kabuki Warriors, now they're like beefing. I don't know. This was all very, very weird to me. All of it was Rhea Ripley coming out. Even though I love Rhea Ripley, I feel like Rhea and Io Sky are going to now win the tag team championships and be the most random champions since Dragon Lee and AJ Styles. I don't know what we're doing here, but what say you? What'd you think of all this and the ending of Raw? And that this ended Raw. Go women.
Yeah, it was. I mean, good for the women ending in a show in Boston and John Cena's last show. The women end, which I thought good for them, I guess. But we don't need to have a women's match this year. I mean, if this is what they're giving us, we don't need, just get rid of the women's match. And, I don't think we need that. It's time to get rid of War Games anyway. But, like this feels very, very underwhelming. Even if they add a fifth, like, who are they going to add? Like Maxine Dupree and Becky Lynch? Are they going to split Lyra Valkyria and Bayley? And, one of them is on the other two teams? I don't know, but where is Bailey lately? Like Bailey gets hosed again. She got left off the card at WrestleMania. She was just her and Lyra were feuding with Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss just last week, and now they're like left off of Survivor Series. Bailey got left off of SummerSlam. There's like I don't know. I feel bad for old Bailey, but yeah, like this very very underwhelming card for the women's matches, War Games, and I am curious if they do 5-on-5 or 4-on-4, but. Yeah, and then the random title change that didn't feel like a big deal at all, because when you have a new U.S. champion on SmackDown, then you come follow up with the opening match on Raw of a new IC champion in John Cena. Then you close the show out with women's tag team championships changing hands. Like all these title changes, like they don't mean anything if they're constantly. I mean, if they're changing hands at random. You know, I don't want long title reigns. I'm not asking for that because we've seen that enough. But I want them to make sense, and I don't want them just completely randomly dropped. And that's what these all feel like. It feels like they're doing it for the shock factor, and they're doing it for the shock value. And I feel like it's just kind of, I don't know. The titles are losing their luster. But Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, I think they deserve better.
Oh, I fully agree. Well said. Yeah, I fully agree. And Last Legend and Nia Jax just doesn't feel right. I don't feel like Nia Jax is that person to make a person, but
and Last Legend just got called up. Like she's been on the roster for 15 minutes and she gets in War Games. Like I don't understand that. Yeah.
We'll see how she does, I guess. I don't know. All right. Well, that was it for Monday Night Raw. We got our War Games matches getting going. Survivor Series is next weekend, correct?
The weekend,
not this weekend, the following
weekend. Yeah. Next weekend.
Oh, so no, we still have
full gear. And then it's the following week. Yeah.
Okay, so we have a couple more weeks to build it. So, yeah, we have time. All right, well, let's get into NXT. And I'll let you open up with the first segment. And that is one Blake Monroe being interviewed by Blake Monroe. Make it make sense. You said you liked it. So go ahead and tell me what you thought of this.
I did like it. I liked it because it was different. I liked it because we got a different element of Blake Monroe's character. And I liked it because, you know, she was still Blake Monroe, but there was also that sinister side of Blake Monroe, like the devil on your shoulder, and that's kind of what she's going to be, and she needs to embrace her. So I did like the creativity of the promo, but I didn't like it because is she going to be split personality now? Is that what they're doing? Is that, you know, is she going to, when she snaps, is she going to be evil Blake Monroe? And then when she's doing her promos in the bathtub, is that good Blake Monroe? Like what are we doing here with that? And then we were just talking about Bailey. Like Bailey's doing split personalities, and she started the split personality thing, and then she kind of dropped it, and now Blake Monroe's taken that from her and kind of adding to it. I was confused as to why they're doing it, but I didn't mind the promo itself. I thought it was creative. I thought it was different, and I enjoyed it for what it was. But I don't like that. I don't know. I don't like that Bailey's doing it and we just dropped it.
Okay, so what it was. But what was it? So she is facing off against Sol Ruca, who was injured, who had her homegirl defend it and then lose it. And now she gets an instant title match. I don't even know why she was injured to begin with. It was like a 4-second thing or whatever.
And she dropped the speed title because of it too.
Yeah, and then she dropped both. And now she gets an instant rematch. So what does Blake Monroe do? Is it split personality? Was this planned? Does she go back and interview herself on purpose? Are we supposed to be in her head? Because they set it up as a Blake Monroe. And this isn't like it was like her in a locker room, like talking to herself, and we weren't supposed to be watching. And she's like an inner her head monologue. This was like a legit interview. Like, hi, I'm here with Blake Monroe. Hi, Blake Monroe. I'm Blake Monroe. Fantastic, Blake Monroe. I don't think you're gonna do it. I think I am. I think Sol Ruca's gonna beat you. I don't think so. And so was this like her pep talking herself because she knows Sol Ruca's better than her? I mean, I would like to invite them over to see who is. They can try it out on me. But like, was this like I'm just confused on what it was. Like, was it good? Yeah. Blake Monroe can lick a popsicle. And okay, that's a bad example. She could, I don't know, have a burping contest. She can do whatever she wants. She's going to do phenomenal at it. She could read the damn dictionary. And I would be like, go Blake. Like, she's that good. But I don't get the point. Like, this is a one-off, right? This was just supposed to, was this literally her hyping herself up Is that what this was? Like she set this up. She was like, "Hey, guys, I did an interview. Check it out." And she just recorded herself twice and photoshopped it together. This wasn't like her going crazy. I don't think. At least it didn't come off like that.
Yeah, maybe not. I hope not, because I don't think we need to have that. But I did like to me, what it reminded me of was the Blake Monroe / Mariah May that we all fell in love with in AEW, where she came out one week dressed as Toni Storm, and like she looked spot on as Toni Storm when she was like with Toni Storm, and that to me that reminded me of the good Blake Monroe that we saw on the actress, right? The glamour. And then the dark, evil, sadistic Blake Monroe was the one that turned on Toni Storm when she won the Owen Hart Invitational and was beating Toni Storm in the head with the shoe. So that's kind of what I took the dark Blake Monroe on this promo as, like, she's that person that's going to bring that out. So maybe that's what they were going with. They're going to try to like bring out the evil in her character, the bad in her character, the one that we all fell in love with in AEW. But they're going to try to make it their own thing in WWE. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here, but I hope that's where they go. But I really don't want them to do split personalities. We've seen that way too many times. We're seeing it now on the main roster. We don't need, and that doesn't fit her character. That doesn't fit the glamour. If this was anybody else, I could see it, but not her.
Yeah, I agree.
Izzy Dame or any of those people, sure, give me split personality, but not her.
Yeah, I agree. All right, last thing we want to talk about, Ricky Saints in the main event defeated One Trick Williams in a last man standing match. I was a little disappointed because they had a good match, but it had about 9.5 minutes, 10 minutes. You don't have a last man standing match that goes that quickly. It seemed uneventful. And as Ricky Saints is celebrating, all of a sudden Oba Femi's music hit. They showed his shadow, and it ended with the announcer obviously saying Oba Femi has returned. What I have for you is why?
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't like, where does Trick go? Where does Trick Williams go from here? And now that Ricky Saints has beaten him twice, and then now is he coming after Ricky Saints? Is he coming after Trick Williams? Is he coming to NXT to announce that he's in the John Cena tournament? Is he LA Knight's mystery opponent on SmackDown this week? And then we're going to hear from him next week on NXT. I don't know. I can't answer that. I don't know the why. I love Oba Femi. I'm glad he's back. I'm happy to see him anytime on TV, but it's time to bring him to the main roster. He's long overdue. And if you are going to add him to the John Cena tournament, why not keep it as a surprise? Why did you bring him back on NXT? That's why I don't think he's in it now, because they brought him back to NXT, and I don't get why not. That was a huge opportunity, and especially when you're touting the Saturday night's main event is going to have NXT talent taking on main roster talent, a series of matches. And now you have Oba Femi. Like, that could have been his opportunity to be the main roster talent going up against an NXT talent and one Ricky Saints or something like that.
Yeah.
But now it's just going to be, I don't know what they're doing. I really don't.
No, it didn't make any sense. I was like, match was underwhelming, but Ricky won again. Now Ricky's beaten Trick twice. This dude's got a resume. Then Oba's there again. And I'm like, okay, they're not going to have him beat Oba twice. That doesn't make any sense. And if Oba was going to the big stage, he would have won already. So he's not going to lose to Ricky. So
is he even coming after Ricky? Yeah. That's
if he's not, then I'm fine with that. But I don't think I don't know why they weren't ready for him. Put him in there. Maybe they didn't want him to face Cena last, so maybe that's why. And they thought if they put him in the tournament, they can't have him lose. But they can. Javon Evans is going to lose. It's still going to help him get a nice push. He'll get a lot of beat down on Gunther until he gets chopped until he is in half, which is fine. But like, I don't get this at all. I was not as hyped up as the announcers were when Oba Femi returned at the end. I think it's a huge miss, unless he doesn't go after Ricky. But why else would he interrupt Ricky's music?
Yeah, unless somebody attacks him. I don't know. Yeah, we'll find. I really hope he is in the tournament, and this was all a ruse, or this starts a feud with him. Maybe he is LA Knight's mystery opponent on SmackDown, and somebody cost him the match from NXT, and then on, Tuesday he gets attacked by that person again. I don't know. I'm fantasy booking here, but I was like you. I was like, huh? Like, again? Like, we're gonna do Trick Williams we've done Trick Williams and Ricky Saints twice. Now we're doing Oba Femi and Ricky Saints again. Like, We just seen that. We don't like. Are you that desperate for challenges? The women's division can get a new women's champion like that, and a new women's contender like that. But the men's side is really, really struggling for main eventers in NXT. And where's Tony D'Angelo?
Dude, I don't know. I don't know. In the back of a Hyundai somewhere? I don't know.
He's in the tournament.
Oh, is he? I don't know. I imagine LA Knight going up against a surprise opponent pretty much means LA Knight's going to lose. Dude, that's going to piss a lot of people off.
It's Joe Hendry.
Yeah. Don't even get me started on Thea Hale and Joe Hendry. Poor Thea Hale. Talk about throwing somebody. Never mind. All right, let's move on. I don't even want to talk about it. But that was a week in review at WWE. We got 2 more weeks for War Games. We got stuff building up. NXT is doing well. They had a pretty jam-packed show and a lot of stuff going on with the women's division. But now we're going to move on to our segment, and that is one unpopular opinion. Do we got a song for this? I forget.
I do.
Yeah. All right. We're going to hit that music and get this ready.
Unpopular opinion, trying to get them. They ain't hating, just listen. If you don't agree, man, they get it. They gon' say it with their chest, even if you upset. They can take their heat, none of this get some stress. This is something they been holding in. 2 dudes ain't afraid to tell them what it is. And you might even agree. So open up your minds, come and listen to the team.
All right, unpopular opinions. This is where me and Ryan are going to give 2 unpopular opinions each. Usually it's unpopular to us, but probably unpopular to the masses. That's why it's an unpopular opinion. So when you say, that's stupid, we go, duh. That's why it's not popular. So, Ryan, what is your first unpopular opinion in WWE right now?
All right, we talked about this guy earlier, but it needs to be said that Triple H and Tony Khan professionally are the exact same person. Now, I'm not talking about personally. I'm talking about professionally. Now,
all right.
Here's what I mean by that. They both rely on wrestlers from other companies and book them strongly. Triple H right now has almost half of his roster is all ex-AEW world champions or ex-AEW champions. Same thing with NXT. They both make questionable booking decisions. They both like to make announcements that are absolutely, completely dog shit and completely pointless. But they're the land. They're going to shape the landscape of the WWE or this company forever. They're gonna shake this company to its core. These are game changing announcements, and it's really like WrestleMania is going to be in Saudi Arabia, and we're going to bring a reality show called AEW. I can't even remember what was it? All Access, I think it was called, but it was just stupid stuff. They're both constantly putting over and glazing their companies and their talent. You know, Triple H right now has been glazing Cody Rhodes as QB1 and talking about how he went to Australia and went to the gym. That's our champion, everybody. And then John Cena is the undeniable GOAT. Tony Khan's on Twitter talking very well deserved. This is awesome chance for FTR. Like, he's always talking about their talents. And Tony Khan hugs his wrestlers. Triple H has to take pictures with every talent that returns, debuts, or wins a title. And he does the point in front of the logo. Both have handled situations very poorly. Tony Khan and CM Punk, for example. Triple H and the whole Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair thing. Triple H and R-Truth release. Triple H and all the drama right now with Andrade and all the drama with Ridge Holland and their questionable releases. You know, there's been a Karrion Kross even questioned Triple H. And he's like, hey, I haven't heard from him in a long time. I don't think, I thought he liked me. Both are always talking about their even when things are in their darkest times right now. WWE kind of struggling in ratings. Smackdown had some of the lowest ratings in its history recently. But what are both people doing? Talking positive about their companies on social media. What a great episode of AEW Dynamite we had. What a fantastic WWE Monday Night Raw. Nobody does it like we do in the WWE. And contrary to popular belief, they both do bench talent. You know, Tony Khan benched Britt Baker, Chris Jericho currently, Miro, Penta, Rey Fenix, Ricky Starks. Triple H, where the hell is Omos? Like, where's Omos?
He was on AAA.
Yeah, but whatever. But my point is Triple H and Tony Khan are the exact same person professionally. The only difference. Oh, and they, Tony Khan is he's a billionaire's kid. Triple H married into a billionaire's family. So like they're the exact same person. The only difference is that Triple H is not awkward or cringy when it comes to being on television. Tony Khan's got that rolled down pat. But
a little cringy right now, but yeah, I get.
Yeah, he's like he knows how to be on TV. Tony Khan's like got the glasses on, the shit-eating grin, and he's doing like the thumbs up, like we have tag team titles. Triple H is like he has that TV presence, but that's really the only difference between the two from a professional standpoint. So when people are talking shit about Tony Khan or they're talking shit about Triple H, you realize you're talking shit about both of them because they both do the exact same stuff.
Funny thing is, Tony Khan's father owns an NFL team, and Triple H's father once owned an NFL organization. So
there you go,
a football organization. So they're kind of the same there with the XFL.
There you go.
Well said. Yeah. I think it's only unpopular with all the AEW, WWE nuthuggers. So somewhere in the world, they're fighting now because of you. So how dare he say that? We're different.
Yeah. They're not the same person at all. And it's like, yeah, they are. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, right. Oh my goodness. Well said. That was pretty true. I like how you took notes on that too. That was a big history lesson. I like it. Nice comparisons and everything. Someone did their homework for this. All right.
I did. I was prepared. I went to Wikipedia and everything just for you.
What? Oh, shout out to Light Skin Ginger. All right. So, unpopular opinion. If Drew and Cody Rhodes wrestle again and Drew loses, he should leave the WWE. And I truly, truly mean that. This man, and I'm never one to say that, but this man is not being booked properly. He is the best attraction in WWE for the past 2 years. Dominic's starting to get there. He is the MVP. He has made himself famous off of the internet. He's made himself famous off of his promos. He's made himself famous off of his in-ring work. He carried a feud with CM Punk when CM Punk couldn't wrestle for 7 or 8 months. He is making Cody Rhodes relevant, and yet he continues to not win the big show, but continues to get the opportunities. If he loses to Cody Rhodes because they wrestle again for the title, it's not just a War Games, he needs to leave. I'm not saying TNA. I'm saying go straight to AEW. Go to AEW. Maybe they'll respect you, prove you. I'm just saying, Drew, you're too good for this. So that's my unpopular opinion. If he loses, leave the WWE. Be done with it. What else is he going to do? Where's he going? Nowhere. Stop booking him. And this is not the same as LA Knight, so stay out of the comments. LA Knight is not good. It's not the MVP. Has not even had a chance yet. Drew has done everything and continues to get. It would be different if he wasn't given the opportunities. If he hadn't wrestled for the title yet, I wouldn't have this in my mind at all. It's the fact that they've given it to him and having him lose. That is ruining the character that he is so working hard to build up.
Yeah, I think that's a valid opinion. I think AEW would use Drew McIntyre way better than what Triple H is doing with him. And I just don't understand why. Like Drew McIntyre is the total package. He's got everything, and they just will not put the title on him. And I don't know, but I do think Tony Khan and AEW I think he would bring ratings to AEW. I think, they're struggling with ratings. They need a star to kind of build things around. Drew McIntyre would be perfect for them. So yeah, I'm in full on agreement that he should find a way to negotiate a release or something, or walk out or do something to, take a stand, because he'll need to go for sure.
I agree. All right. What's your last unpopular opinion? Let's hear. Let's see if you got your notes out for this one too.
Yeah, I'm going to do one similar to yours, but I'm going to say that I think Bayley should leave the WWE when her contract is up, because if anyone, we're talking about Drew McIntyre getting hosed. I mean, yeah, he is getting hosed, but Bayley, man, like she won the Royal Rumble 2024, and then her match against Io Sky was the only match announced for WrestleMania at the time. So what do? They invite Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair to the WrestleMania press conference and leave Bayley off. Bayley's not on any of the WrestleMania promotional stuff. Then this year at WrestleMania, it's her and Lyra Valkyria in the women's tag team title match. And they take her out of the picture because Becky Lynch attacks her, and they use it as a returning Becky Lynch backstage. And then Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria win the women's tag team titles, just for Becky Lynch to turn on Lyra Valkyria on Monday Night Raw, and we don't see Bayley for a couple weeks. Bayley was then left off of SummerSlam, and now she's going to be left out of War Games most likely unless they split it up. But then they've been doing this whole gimmick of the split personalities, the schizophrenic stuff that's really gone nowhere. That feels like they've kind of just dropped it now, because every time we see him, she's being cordial and nice to Lyra. She doesn't like. It feels like they've completely dropped it. But Bayley, she's not going to win the women's title anytime soon. She's not in the women's Intercontinental Championship picture. She's not in the women's U.S. title picture. She just lost probably her only opportunity to win the women's tag team titles, because now the Kabuki Warriors have them, and then when they drop them to Rhea and Io, they're going to hold them forever. So I don't really see a place for Bayley in WWE, and I know she's your friends with one of your favorite people, one Mercedes Moné, but I do think that she would really benefit from going to AEW. I think she loves to wrestle. I think she likes wrestling. I think AEW could benefit from having her, and I think she would benefit from going to AEW. I think it would be a mutually exclusive pairing. So I think Bayley, whenever her contract is up, she needs to go, not re-sign with WWE. She's been hosed one too many times, and go to AEW and really add some depth to their women's division.
I agree with you. That shouldn't be unpopular. I think she should do it right now. No point. I don't know what they're doing with her, and I do like Mercedes Moné. Thank you. Sasha Banks is one of my favorite, and I'll get into it because at War Games she was looking delicious, my man.
Probably the best they've used her. Yeah.
Oh, we'll get into it on our other episode if you guys want to watch it. But yeah, no, I agree with you fully though. Bayley needs to jump and go. She's another one, and it's no knock on WWE either. You can't use everybody, man. You don't want to use Drew. Don't want to use Bayley. Let them go. Let them shine elsewhere because they can do it. All right, my last unpopular opinion might not even be unpopular, but it might be because so many people hate on him. But mine is Dominic Mysterio needs to be a world champion, not an IC, not a AAA, not a TNA, not a NXT. No, the world champion, heavyweight undisputed in 2026, the end. He would be the greatest chicken shit world champion heel ever. He needs to have Liv Morgan by his side with the other world championship and have them go on a world championship reign where he beats the best of the best with Liv cheating to help him win. You could add an El Grande Americano. He can do the belt. He could be Eddie Guerrero 2.0. I don't give two shits. He will be the greatest chicken shit heel champion of all time. They need to give it to him. The man is better at promos now. His physique is getting there. The crowd loves him. The crowd hates him. The crowd loves him. Everybody wants him and Liv. They could eat that up so much. They could do Rated R Superstar in the bed in the middle of the ring with both their belts for all I care. They can do whatever they want. This is like perfect. It needs to happen. I don't care if you don't like it. Suck it. This is what needs to be in 2026. And I'm talking like before SummerSlam, baby. This needs to happen for the big portion of 2026.
I think it needs to happen at WrestleMania. He needs to compete for one of those titles against Cody or against CM Punk. I think those are two matches that are destined to happen.
I want him to retire his dad at Mania, unless it happens at Survivor Series in San Diego, which I'm fine with too. But he needs to retire his dad, but continue.
Yeah, no, I agree. But it needs to happen. He needs to be world champion. I don't think that should be unpopular at all, but it will be because LA Knight and Braun Breaker and Logan Paul and Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso and
amateurs.
But Dom, man, like he's fantastic. He's a huge that WrestleMania pop that he got when he won the IC title this year, where he ran back into the ring. The crowd loves him, and then they also hate him at the same time. He can make a crowd love him. He can make a crowd hate him. Nobody can control the crowd the way Dominic Mysterio can, and I think he's. I really hope he benefits from this loss to Cena. I hope he gets the title either back or he moves up to the world title picture because he's long overdue. And I don't think that's unpopular at all. It shouldn't be.
I knew he'd agree on all of them. All right, there it is. Unpopular opinions. If you agree, disagree, throw them in those comments. Let your dudes know. All right, let's get into it. This episode's been going on for a while. Let's do it. LVD, MVD, where we pick our least valuable, most valuable dude or dudettes of the week of WWE. Doesn't mean we hate or love them. It means they're the best or worst booked. Ryan, who's your LVD? Let's see if we match up this week or not.
Yeah, I'm going dudette, and I'm going I'm going one Charlotte Flair. And the reason why I'm going with Charlotte
Oh.
Flair is because she was on both Raw and SmackDown, and she got pinned on SmackDown because of Lash Legend, by Nia Jax, and then she got pinned on Monday Night Raw to lose the women's tag team titles, setting up the whole War Games thing and everything. And again, it's not because I have a problem with Charlotte Flair. I don't like Charlotte Flair. I love Charlotte Flair. This tag team pairing with Alexa Bliss has been one of the best things that's happened to her over the last couple of years. And I think she's been fantastic, but she did take 2 losses. I was going to go with another female, but I think Charlotte Flair just, because she lost on Raw and on SmackDown and lost her title getting pinned, she got pinned twice. I feel like I had to choose her because it was also in the main event spot too, both of them.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I didn't even think about that because I forgot that she lost both times. So that's pretty, that's pretty wild. I'm going to go a different route. I'm going with the dudette, and I'm going with one Julia. Julia had a feeling awful title reign, then lost to Chelsea Green in a 6-minute match, 7-minute match. It was pretty quick. It was pretty to the point. You didn't really think she was going to ever win. It was just like Chelsea Green dominated and won. It was a very weird booking. I don't know if they just jumped the gun on Julia, if now they're going to do the same to Stephanie Vaquer. I don't know. They pushed these women so quickly, 6-7, from AEW into NXT, then just took them right out of NXT, had them drop their world titles just to go straight to, the WWE. It was very weird. And then to see her go like this. So yeah, losing to Chelsea Green like that in that fashion, I got to give her my LVD. And that's once again, not a knock on Julia. I love her. She's fine. She's a good wrestler, one of the best in the world right now. But yeah, big L. Big L for me.
I am concerned where she goes from here. Where is there for her to go? I mean, back to NXT where she can dominate and continue growing, continue learning, be a women's champion down there. Because she was it in NXT, and I don't know what's missing with her on SmackDown. But maybe she goes back down there for a little bit, or maybe she moves over to Raw. I don't really know what the answer for it is, but yeah, I had a feeling you picked Julia, so that's why I chose Charlotte.
You're starting to read my mind, 11. All right, let's get into it. Let's end on a positive. I don't think 11 reads minds, does she? No, she does. No, she can see. Stranger Things coming out. All right, MVD. Who do you got? Let's end it on a high note. Who is your MVD of the week?
I'm it's got to be the never seen Grand Slam champion, and that is one John Cena. It's got to be. Yeah, it's got to be the man, the hustle, loyalty, and respect, John Cena, winning the Grand Slam title off of Dominic Mysterio in his hometown. I feel like this is the best the retirement tour has been, from the AJ Styles match to this to everything that they've been doing. And now the tournament is starting to cook and take shape. That this is how the retirement tour should have been booked at the very beginning instead of the stupid heel turn that they did and all that jazz. But yeah, I'm going with John Cena. I feel like there's no other really. He's the clear-cut winner for me.
Yeah, I fully agree. You said it. That's who I picked. Don't even need to repeat it. By the way, you said the tournament. Were you surprised we didn't talk about it? Rusev just randomly just kicked Damian Priest's ass? No,
I thought Aleister Black was getting involved.
Rusev just came in, whooped his ass in 5 minutes clean at the end. Why do I want to see Priest versus Aleister now? He raked his eyes. His eyes. Okay, people get their eyes raked all the time. I don't understand how that led to his loss.
Shinsuke Nakamura shaking hands when the last time we saw him, he's sucker punching people and kicking people.
Yeah,
he's clapping for John Cena in the back. I'm like, huh? What's going on here? He was like a ninja the last time we saw him, and now he's like
he was. He also just got his ass kicked, just like nothing, just nice and clean. No weirdness in this tournament so far. All right, that's it. That's our WWE edition. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. Hit those comments up, hit those 5-star reviews, hit those subscription buttons. Help some dudes out. We try to get there, trying to get our viewerships back up. So help us out. As always, if you just want to check me out, I'm at my_wrestling_opinion on all your social media outlets. And with me, as always,
it's Ryan Enjoys Wrestling on all the social media platforms. Go follow me there. Go follow us on X at 2DudesPC. We're on Twitch at 2Dudes_with-attitudes. We're on Instagram at 2Dudes-with-attitudes podcast. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel at 2Dudes with Attitudes, and we're on TikTok also at 2Dudes with Attitudes. So go follow us there as well. And then if you're listening to us on Apple and Spotify, we appreciate everyone's love and support. We are in the top 5% of all listened to wrestling podcasts. Help us continue climbing, or the top 10%. Sorry, top 10%. I want us in the top 5%, so I'm eager to get us there. But get us into that top 5%, the top 1% of all listened to podcasts. And the way to do that is to leave us a 5-star rating and review, where you can tell everyone about their favorite two dudes on the internet. And we appreciate everyone's love and support. Help us grow. Help us move this thing up the ranks. I
agree. Two Dudes Wolfpack. We out.
Two dudes with attitudes. Let's go. It's the two dudes and our attitudes ruthless, aggressively speaking. So let's do this. We're riding in Denton. They here to get your attention. A 5-star broadcast. Start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all elite, the two dudes with the attitudes will bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on time to